Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. Every year I do a Pond Prowler overview review video because I'm constantly putting new modifications on this bad boy. And this year I put on some really cool ones and I'm really proud of how the boat turned out. I've almost got it to a point where I think I am totally dialed in. So I'm going to go over everything on my boat and every single mod, how I use it, where you can get it. All the info is going to be in today's video. This is going to be quite a deep dive, so for those of you that are thinking about doing a boat like this, or a kayak, or something along this, or you just like my channel and you like watching my videos, then stay tuned. This is going to be a packed video. So here's a quick snapshot of what the boat looks like. It's that guy right there. Now keep in mind, all of these mods aren't always on the boat because some of these I only use if I'm bass fishing. Others I may only use if I'm trolling. Others may be catfishing, right? So I kind of change all those mods depending on what type of fish I'm going for. But in today's video, obviously, I'm going to show you guys everything. Now, before we can talk about anything else on this boat, we have to actually talk about the boat itself. So this one right here is the Bass Pro Shops Pond Prowler 8. This is not the 10, this is the 8. So it's about 8 feet. It's pretty small inside. I mean, you can have 2 people on this, but it's pretty dang tight. I believe these go for around 600. When I bought it, I believe it was 600. It may have gone a little bit up since then. It's been a couple years, but it's going to be around that $600 to $700 mark for just the boat itself. It's going to come with no modifications. There's just a couple cleats on the front and back, and that's it. Depending on where you live, there's a good chance you're going to have to get this registered. So as you guys see, I have my register stickers on each side of the boat here, and you can also put like a name on the side or the back, you know, like if you want to do something fun for it. I'm still trying to figure out a name for mine. I've got some ideas, but that's for a future video. The front of my boat is a Minn Kota Endura Max 55-pound thrust trolling motor. This thing, I bought it last year. I upgraded from the regular Endura. I've done a video breaking down the difference between the two. I bought the Endura Max because it has more variable speeds. So when I'm trolling, which is most of what I do on my boat, I need those variable speeds because 0.1, 0.2 miles an hour can be the difference between fish and no fish for me. So I can't just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I got the Endura Max. It's a little more expensive. It's also got a different circuit board and stuff inside to help, you know, basically be a little more resourceful on battery life. That's not an issue for me because my battery in the back is a 160 amp hour amped outdoors lithium battery. This thing is a tank. I have never ran out on the water. I've had like 2 or 3 day trips, and I've had like weeks where I fished like 3 or 4 times that week, and I never charged the battery, and it still ran. To this day, I don't know the lowest I've taken it, but I've never ever ran out. That thing is an absolute tank. It's a little big for probably what a lot of you guys need it for. I would recommend an 80 or 100 amp hour. I think that's going to do just fine for almost all the types of fishing you guys are doing, especially if you're charging it after a trip or 2 anyway. So yeah, I got the 160 just because I really wanted a bigger size. Once I changed my system from, you know, this to what I had before with the lead acid and just the Minn Kota Endura, my whole entire fishing experience changed with those two. So would 100% recommend one of your first upgrades on the boat is to go to lithium and go to the Endura Max. It's really helped me out. So how these actually run here is if you guys see the trolling motor is connected to the front, right? You've got your plug-in right in the front in that spot, and it actually, that wire goes down inside the boat and then pops out right there in the back. Now, I actually have a surge protector in the back there. That one is for a 50 amp, and then I've got my cords coming up into my battery right here. This little guy on top is just a camera mount. I screwed it into the battery box. That way I can put this camera I'm filming on right now on the top so I can take pictures and stuff when I'm solo. But that's the battery setup right there. Yeah, it's pretty dang cool. The next thing I'm going to talk about here is the flooring. This has been one of my big upgrades this year. Obviously, you guys can't see all of it because all my stuff is in the back. But this flooring right here, I did a video on it. I would 100% recommend checking that out at some point. I will link it at the end of this video so that you can click on it and go to that one next. This flooring has absolutely changed the look and just overall, my experience on the water, I absolutely love it. I'm so confident with it just because it looks so cool. I messed up a little bit in the front. As you can see, there's a little bit of wood showing, but it's not too bad. I'm pretty dang happy with how that turned out. All right, the boat, trolling motor, and battery are kind of the main three things. That's like the necessities on this boat. Now I'm gonna start from the back and I'm gonna work my way all the way to the front of the boat here, starting with the rudder. Now this rudder is really cool. I did a video on how I built it. I have since done a couple changes. I've cut this pipe down a little bit just to do one knob here so there's nothing getting in the way. And then I've also redone the actual rudder itself in the back. I just went on Amazon and bought a rudder fin. It's not as big as the rudder that I was using previously. I really liked that other one, but unfortunately that plastic just wasn't strong enough. It was breaking a lot. I had to go through like 3 of them. So I eventually went with this. This thing ain't breaking. This is super strong, thick plastic, and it still does a pretty good job of steering me and keeping me straight. The other cool thing is when I bought it, I didn't realize it came in a pack of 2. So this one right here, I put in the back, and I stuck that thing, the second one, on my Minn Kota trolling motor in the front. So I'm double ruddered, right? I got a rudder in the front and a rudder in the back, and I seriously think both of those 2 combined keeps me about 90% straight if I have both in the water. So I very rarely will turn, you know, really bad with both of them. So yeah, super happy with the rudder. I have a video on that one as well. I have a whole playlist of all of my mods and how I've built them. So I'll put the playlist at the end, or I'll put it in the description below so you guys can check out all the videos on how I built everything on this boat. All right, so the anchor setup I'm still working on, but so far I've been pretty happy with it. This is the Scotty anchor lock. This is a super cool mechanism. All you do is with the rope here, this pulls this snap up and you can let the anchor down. But when there's pressure, right, say you are, let me put the mic down. Say the anchor, you're pulling it up and you know you don't want it to slip. All you do is let go and it pulls that rope tight right here. It's really, it's a genius. Whoever made this is a very smart person because it's such a clever design. They're a little bit pricey, but I think overall it's worth it, and you're not pulling up a heavy anchor all by yourself. You've got a little help here. I've just got a bunch of Scotty side brackets. I have these little side brackets mounted all over my boat. I mean, I literally have 2 in the back, 2 in the front, and 2 on the sides for all of my different mods. So those little side brackets are really helpful. I just have some regular anchor rope here to a water bottle filled with rocks, and I have all my rope around it. Due to the rope being a little bit smaller, this is more of my all-around shallow anchor, and then I have my other river anchor. For most of you, this is going to be all what you need. This is by Better Boat. I absolutely love this anchor. It's a river anchor. They have helped me out a ton in my videos in the past. They also make a marine sealant. It's the same sealant I used for all of my mounts to help seal it up so no water gets in. As of this day, I don't think I've had a single drop of water inside of my boat, and I think I can thank Better Boat for that because they've really helped me out. So between the sealant, the anchor, and a bunch of other mods they have been super helpful with me and my channel and building my boat. So go support them. They make an awesome anchor as well. This guy has done a lot for me. This is a 20-pound anchor in the back. This will hold in a decent amount of current as well, given, you know, or if you have more rope as well. So yeah, this anchor is awesome. So this is kind of how I organize my boat in the back usually. I have my net laying to the side there, so it's really easy when I'm in my chair. I can just grab it, you know, and net a fish on either side. I've got some pool noodles on it just in case it falls over, it'll float. I also got usually I have my camera gear right there in that gray box. My orange box is all my trolling gear, so my dodgers, flashers, you know, jerk baits, everything I need to troll with. And then I've got my cooler here and the battery behind it. So this is kind of, you know, it basically eats up about 1/3 of the total space is all of that in the back, which gives me plenty of room to stand up and do whatever I want in the front, which is really nice. Now, when I'm bass fishing, I don't usually need the cooler, and I don't have that big orange box. I've got a little backpack, or I've got like 2 trays of lures that I can put in between the batteries there. So when I have my bass gear, I actually only have about 1/8 of it, and then I basically have 7/8 to fish. So it's really nice. Obviously the kokanee, I'm usually sitting down anyway, so I don't need a lot of extra room, but that's how I organize it in the back. Everything kind of fits perfect in there. Works really well for me. Like I mentioned before, everything on this boat, like nothing on this boat comes with it, right? So all of these little things you've got to add yourself. These are just rod straps. All I've done is I've mounted them right on the side. They clip in. Those actually did come with the boat, but then these guys I bought, and I put one here and one in the front, and those will hold, that'll hold about 3 rods if they're really squished. 1 or 2 rods will fit plenty fine in there. I wish those spaces were just a little wider, but obviously then that would make the boat bigger, so you know, I understand why they're not. All right, so this side actually has a little bit more going on than the other side. So this one, I have a kayak paddle right here, or just a regular little, you know, boat paddle. I actually found this one at a reservoir while trolling for kokanee. It was just floating in the top of the lake, and I like this one better than the one I had because it's only got 1 oar. This side is just like a stick, and so I can actually use that when I'm in shallow water and use it as like a shallow water anchor to help like kind of push off a dock or off the bank. So I really like that. That's super cool. I just have a kayak mount right here. It's just, I believe this one's by Yak Attack. It's just a little clip. It comes out like that, and there's a little scrunchy band here, so that if if I'm in rough water, or I just, I'm worried about my paddle going somewhere, then I can actually fold this over and lock it, and now it's not going anywhere. So the paddle, gotta have it. It has saved me so many times, it's not even funny. It's been super helpful. But then this right here, this has been some of my proudest upgrades on the boat. And this is my downrigger rod holder setup here. Now, when I'm catfishing, I don't have the downrigger on, but I always have the rod holders if I'm trolling or bait fishing. It's really nice the way I have this set up. These are the Canon Mini Troll downriggers, and then these are the Scotty side mounts. This is an extension arm, and then I actually have 2 different types of rod holders. This one is my bigger rod holder for catfish rods, lake trout rods, stuff like that. I have a smaller version for my kokanee rods because it's just a little bit easier to grab the rods out of. This one, they kind of sit. These are a little sturdier, so I need it for those bigger fish, so those bigger takedowns. Now, I actually was worried when I first got my downriggers, they were kind of bending the plastic here. So I actually went in and I had a friend help me out here. We bent this metal around the side, so it's basically what you see this side is what's on the other side. Bent it, spray painted it, and screwed it in, and this is now basically like a nice solid plate that I can put my downriggers on. So the downriggers are just a screw on, right? This isn't like a mount, like a big, like a nicer, Canon or Scotty or something like that. So all you do on this is when I get, load up my boat for the day, put this guy on, squeeze it on around the other side, lock it in, and these haven't gone anywhere on me. So super cool. I've also upgraded the line. They had a metal line, and I replaced it with a downrigger braided line, and it doesn't make that those of you that troll, you know that sound very well. This got rid of all the noise, so now I'm ultra quiet when I'm on the water. Overall, I think I've perfected this downrigger setup here in rod holder. Before, I actually had the rods lower down to the ground, and I didn't like it very much because I had to bend over as I was grabbing the rods, and I feel like I was missing fish in the time that the rod went down. So I like that the rods are higher up. I think it gives the rod a better bend on the downrigger too. Super happy with this setup. I've really worked very hard to perfect this over here. Absolutely love it. So what you guys see here, this is this side, and then the other side is the same exact thing, downrigger rod holder, except no boat paddle, or no oar. Other than that, it's the same thing on either side. The chair here was something I didn't want to talk too much about. That comes with the Pond Prowler. This is the stock chair. I plan on doing some upgrades in the future with it. Usually I'm wearing the life vest, but when I'm not, I just kind of put it on the back of the chair, and that's my notebook with all my notes for today's video. That's usually not there, but the chair has been awesome. The chair it comes with is actually pretty comfortable, but I plan on upgrading that in the future, getting a nicer chair. Now, this battery here is kind of my main hub for all of my wires. Actually, my transducer, which is connected off of here, this is on a Scotty transducer arm mount. This just swings out and goes in the water so that I can obviously, mark fish. But this wire here, the transducer wire, goes into the box, coils up with all the extra wire, and pops out. All I've done is I've done little holes on the side of the box here. I've done one hole here, one hole in the front, and this transducer wire coils up, pops out here, and plugs into the back of my fish finder. Same thing with the power outlet. The power outlet is plugged into the battery inside, pops out here, and comes into the back. So everything is right here. There's really not that many wires, right? This is the only wire that's actually showing. Obviously the transducer arm, but that's in the water. So it's really clean up here. There's not a lot going on. And it's never like, popped out or anything. Like I haven't had any problems with this at all. The new fish finder I'm running this year is the Garmin EchoMap UHD 93 SV. This is the older model. They have a UHD 2 that is out now, but this one right here, I got it on sale for, I believe, $600. It's like $600 or $700 right now. Really good deal. Absolutely love this fish finder. It has changed how I fish on this boat, having side scan and just having certain things that I didn't have on my old one, which is the Striker 5. The Striker 5, don't get me wrong, it's awesome, but for a couple hundred extra, you get a lot more features on this, and you have the chance at doing live scope in the future, which I want to run next year. That is a goal of mine, is I'm gonna set live scope up on the boat and film some videos on it, because that would be really cool. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean here. So the transducer goes in the water, right? That cord goes up into the battery box. All of my wires and everything are in there. Pops out on that little corner with that hole, and then comes up, and boom. Plugs into the back just like that. I did a video on this not too long ago, a little more deep dive into how I set it up. So like I said, I'll have that in the playlist as well. But that right there has absolutely changed how I fish. It's a really big screen for this boat, but honestly, I love a big screen. A big screen is awesome. It's just really nice to see the fish, you know, just have a giant sonar up. And this one actually has mapping. My other one didn't have mapping on it. So for me, where I'm trolling for kokanee and I want to see what's in front of me, this 93 has been a game changer on that. Now, one of my last mods I want to talk about here, this one you guys love, because obviously this is how I film all of my videos for you, and that is my camera mount. So all I have here, this is a tripod leg I bought at Goodwill. I bought a full tripod for like, you know, a whopping $2. Broke one of the legs off, and that's why you have this, and it's nice because this actually extends up and down, because it is just a regular tripod leg. I stuck a ball head on it right here. JB welded that in, and then also JB welded down a GoPro mount. And I actually run two different cameras. I run a GoPro on the top, and I also run a DJI. I like the DJI a lot better. It's a lot more reliable than my GoPro. And it's like the old model DJI, but that is how I'm able to connect my Rode Wireless Go 2 audio clip, and that's when I wear that audio clip you guys will see in my videos. I'll wear the transmitter on my hat, and then that's how you guys are seeing, you know, getting my audio is from that. So the camera basically points this way, and it's that wide view, so you guys get to see the rods go down. You know, you get to see all the good stuff on my boat. So that is how I mount it. Right off of that, I have a battery power pack down here with a little USB-C cord, and that wraps up all this way and plugs into the camera up here. That way it can just film all day and I don't have to worry about it. I got a big ol' SD card in that puppy, so I really don't even touch this. I turn the camera on and just fish, which is awesome. I also have a couple smaller little things that I added on here. Like if you guys see, I have that little hand grip down here. This guy I also modded. I believe I bought that on Amazon as well, Amazon or Walmart. It's just a little kayak handle grip. That does not come with the boat, so it's kind of hard to grab the boat when you first get it. So that was like the first mod I put on, as I installed that puppy right there, and it makes it really easy to lift my boat and pull it up off of the bank, especially now that I have a little bit more weight in my boat. It's really nice to have some extra handles to help kind of grab it. The back actually came with handles, so those guys come with the boat, so it's easy to pull you know, from the back of the boat, but the front was really tough, so that's why I put that mod in the front there, and it looks really nice. If you guys have any questions regarding this boat and how I built something a certain way, or what you think you should do on your boat, let me know in the comments below, or reach out to me on Instagram and I'd be happy to give you a little more insight on what something I did on here. If you guys have ideas for mods as well, let me know in the comments below. Some of you guys have really awesome builds on your boats, and I've learned a lot from some of you, so I really thank you. Hope you guys got a kick out of today's episode. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe. See you guys next time on Humbug Videos.